confirm that. Indeed, in Abuja, even within city center, few of them that sell at around this price, you don't find queues. But at the city center, the bulk of them, we are beginning to see queues build up after they have disappeared over the last few days. Is it another few price increase? Has it been done, or are they doing it like we have seen in the past through the window? Well, let's watch and see. Let me welcome my colleagues. TVTF is joined by Abulo Osun.
Amechi, good morning, and good morning, dear listener. Maybe we should start from ASUU. The president was speaking yesterday or so that they are going to have a NEC meeting. NEC meeting means the National Executive Council meeting to look at the demands, because the branches have had meeting and they've sent in their reports to look at what the next step or line of action to take on the half salary. But we're waiting to see if ASUU will be paid full salary in November, because as it were, they worked for November. It's October, they didn't start early in October that they got a pro rata as salary. But be that as it may, we are concerned that Nigeria's education system is grinding, is dwindling, keep dwindling. A lot of students have dumped their education. They are looking for money to travel abroad to go and further their education. We cannot continue to trade on this kind of back and forth. Government should see reasons why they should pay ASUU because they deserve their pay. And one other question, Amici, is this money is in the banks and is generating interest. Who will collect the interest? Where is the money? Is it in the central bank? Is workers' salary and is in their various banks account?
It's government's money.
But the money is in the bank account for payment of salary. And if there's no money in the bank, there's no generating interest. It has been there for 7 months, 8 months.
A single treasury account.
Single treasury account don't hold money.
And let's hear
Good morning to you, good morning, listener. I can tell you for free that there's no money anywhere in any account for the lecturers, as it were. The government does not even have money. So what they have, they use it, is pay as you go. They use it as they get it. So it's not that the money was allocated, kept somewhere, and then they refuse to give them.
I didn't know government, TV is the government official that knows that government don't have money. So you are joining those that think Nigeria is broke?
No, what Teme is telling us is that the Nigerian government is like a daily worker, daily laborer. What he gets today, he spends today.
Yeah.
So is that what we get today, we spend today?
Amechi, I think the Accountant General, when he went for budget defense, and all of that, there was a particular amount, I can't recall the figure, where they said there was vehement. I think from this recovered loot and all of that, they used the money because government needed money to pay something. They used the money without appropriation for so that practically that's the way.
You may be right. We are borrowing so much to pay salaries, so you can imagine. Whenever they see money,
they will keep money.
They will lash on it. The Accountant General of the Federation, the Director of Treasury, the Minister of Finance, perhaps they will be meeting, looking for where there is money to fund this.
Any account
accruals into the Federation account not guaranteed. The little that are coming off, NNPC is not paying it now till they declare profit. So there's pressure on the Federation account. Whenever there's money into the consolidated revenue account for the federal government, you can imagine how they will quickly grab it.
I wish we can get someone from the IPPIS office or the Treasury office to explain this to us. But these are salaries, money is meant for salary payment. You cannot just divert it.
Well, that's by the way. The main issue is if ASUU goes on strike now, what will happen? But I have a word of advice for the APC government. Presidential election is 89 days away. Ario?
88 days.
87 days away. If ASUU goes on strike anytime between now and then, and the students, over 2 million of them, are left at home, they may be so frustrated to the extent that they may vent their anger on the ruling party. So it's in their interest to ensure that this does not degenerate into another ASUU strike.
I mean, these students you are talking about, some of them have sympathy or even members of APC. Some of them are members of PDP, Labour Party now, and the NNPP and the rest. This will not, let me not say we are preempting, and let's hope that it will not happen. They from the ASUU protest are saying December 31.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm a member of the APC government, I will see to the quick and immediate resolution of this matter.
By December 31, if they are not paid, they will consider, the option of strike. Even if they go on strike. I mean, this is not the first time. In 2003, we were on strike for 6 months, from December 2002 to June. Remember, after the swearing in.
Remember, the ASUU president had told students, any government, any party that, how did he put it? Abolo.
Well, he has denied it several times. That he didn't ask people to vote out APC.
Yes.
He said Nigerians should be smarter. I can't get the exact words.
Vote out those that are keeping you at home. He
didn't mention any name
of any party, but he said, students, vote out those parties that are keeping you at home because of strike during the next
But even at that, you know that these lecturers are those that the government use as returning officers, the professors. And would they be willing to come and work as part of their three-fold job, as Steve would say?
One is private
that's community development. Would they be willing to come and participate in the election when they are on strike? Because these students are frustrated, and one vented his anger on Twitter the other day.
Yes, it's still trending.
Yes,
the one in Canada.
No, not that. The young man in University of Duse in Jigawa State vented his anger.
We'll come to that. But let's quickly go to the situation in Osun State.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just before we do that, let me just advise, just like we also advise the federal government.
Yes. Free counsel.
Free counseling.
The truth of the matter is, yes, ASUU may not have worked teaching in classes for 7 months. Yes, that is true. It's a fact. It's not undeniable. But what
ASUU may deny with you. I'm not saying they should pay ASUU. I say they should resolve it. How they resolve it is their
I said in class.
Yes.
Because ASUU has one line of resolution. Say pay us. So when you say
you said ASUU may not have worked. Abulu, what does ASUU say about teaching?
I said teaching in class. I said they were not in class in those 7 months.
But they claim they were also researching.
But one other anger, before you conclude, one other anger is that the MOU with the Bajabi Amila, the executive did not honor it. That is also an anger. The anger the ASUU is feeling.
I've said that here over and over. The president will listen more to Ngige and Adamu than he will listen.
So your counsel for...
My counsel is this. For the 7 months, yes, ASUU members did not go to class to teach the way they should have done. But having resumed, what they should have done in those 7 months, they will definitely, and they are doing it. So there is, in as much as, yes, you didn't pay them for that period, fine and good, but they are doing what they should have done at that time. And that is the consideration I wish the federal government would take into account, and let's have a resolution to this matter.
Well, in Osun State, 12,000 workers, they were indeed employed late in the tenure of Oyetola have been asked. And the governor said, even before he came on as a governor-elect, that he would do those. He says, you didn't employ throughout your period while you were going. You didn't appoint chiefs, first-class chiefs when you were going, you did. All those last, even the PEMSECs, permanent secretaries who raised it yesterday, he has started overturning them.
I mean, he danced his way to government house in Osogbo. I won't be surprised if after the election, he also done his way out. The House of Assembly has already reacted, and I'm sure they'll be taking those, because in as much as you will be writing
on what they reacted on one particular issue.
Yes, the issue of renaming the state, the issue of the anthem.
They said it's a legal matter.
And for him to have done that is a violation of the law.
So he has to go to the state assembly.
It's an impeachable offense. I want to believe they will be gathering all of those things ahead of, after the election, they will face him as it were. That's why I say he's done.
After which election?
The general election. Okay. I can tell you, I can even almost for sure that he might most likely not finish this term. That's the truth. The way and manner in which...
You're so certain.
The way and manner in which... Don't forget, one, the former governor has responded, he did not even employ up to 12. This man signed the budget, the 2023 budget, 48 hours before he left. Has Adeleke looked at the budget to see whether there were provisions for the payment of the salaries of these people that were employed? Perhaps yes, perhaps no.
Now, it's clear.
And again, even the traditional ruler that he has dethroned, the kingmakers in those places are saying, look, due process was followed. So he's creating more enemies. Yesterday I said, look, instead of him looking back, he should look forward. If he continues to look back, he's going to dance his way. And when they raise the issue of impeachment, that's when Nigerians will call, oh, it's PDP.
Yes. I wouldn't want us to dwell on the issue of impeachment. It's too early in the day to begin to mention impeachment.
But it's a governance, a democratic.
You said Tebe brought to our knowledge.
And it's in the opinion, in the opinion of members of the state.
Tebe brought to our knowledge that it's only 2 members of PDP that are in the 26-member House of Assembly. And how comes the 24 members didn't work with the outgoing governor to ensure that he returned?
Why didn't they also raise impeachment proceedings when the governor refused to appoint permanent secretaries?
Exactly, and appoint a permanent secretary. Yes, for the number.
He's an impeachable
yes, that he was there.
Isn't it?
So, but we need to also caution the leaders. Amici, they need to not to throw caution to the wind. Sacking 12,000 workers is not good news to hear.
I didn't know indigenous of Osun.
Yes, but
no, what they're saying is that you employed only APC members and you want to hang them on my neck. If you love them, why didn't you employ them on the first week of your
as I said yesterday,
you waited till the last minute.
As I said yesterday, there was no harm if the governor had presented a list of the permanent secretary to the incoming governor and said, these are the people that I think have qualified to be permanent. Then the issue of employment, the governor should have relaxed, or probably he has been doing that. The election was in July now, wasn't it July? And probably
July
since
16.
Yeah, and these people were employed in July after the governor lost election. The Oyetola lost election.
He quickly employed
them. So this, I'm sure Adeleke has his facts. But we are saying you should be cautious because these are also residents of
the governor said there is no budgetary provision to cater for this 12,000. Which state government has added, even the federal government, can the federal government add 12,000 new workers to his employees just like that? Is there a bazaar they are doing? Now, before you employ, there should be budgetary provision. There are processes. The former governor, what's the staff strength of Osun State Civil Service? That you employ 12,000. For God's sake, there are things that we should do and bring in reason to see whether it's right or not. Yes, he stands to be impeached. The risk is there. But within that Osun State, do you know the loyalists of Rauf Aregbesola were graced the swearing
who brought the state of the nation?
Yes, were at the swearing in. And remember the statement credited to him, and some of these state assembly members are also loyal to him. I know state assembly members, in the next few weeks, Teve will come here to report how all of them, many of them, will reflect from APC to PDP. That is their handiwork.
You know, a paper
in all states where a governor goes into office and there is a minority, it happened in Imo State, including the speaker. Now, don't be surprised in the days and weeks to come. We'll come here to announce to you how they will move.
You know, that is why I said if those House of Assembly,
there are so many external forces.
Yes, that is why I said if the 24 House of Assembly members are that powerful, they would have fought for Oyetola to return. If they are that powerful, you mentioned impeachment. I said we should be cautious mentioning impeachment. A paper here, leadership said how governors said booby traps for successors, and this one looks like a booby trap to me or to some persons because you employ persons who look like political stooge, who look like your eyes when since you are no longer there to make sure that the incoming government fails so that you can swim in after 4 years.
So if Oyetola allows, if Adeleke allows the 12,000 workers, where is he going to get the money to pay them? The next thing will start hitting him hard for owing salaries. Well, he has to find the wisdom, like Teve said. In looking back, looking at if you're a driver and you're looking at the rear mirror, much more than you're looking forward. He needs to get the wisdom of Solomon. I said yesterday on this program, he has danced himself into the government house. It's time to discontinue dancing. But I think I saw him dance.
No, he can keep dancing. So far, he's working.
He won assignment yesterday.
If you are a smoker before you become governor, you don't so sports.
The priority.
If you like it, you keep doing it.
Salaries were not paid. Pensions were not paid. Gratuities were not paid, scholarships, and several other things. Okay. If I were him, this is what I'll be trying to do in my first 7 days, my first 72 hours, 7 days, 90 days, 100 days in office, instead of...
But I heard that Oyesola cleared 97 billion naira debt.
No, he's servicing them and managing them. I hear he managed it so well. Well, that's another responsibility. If salaries are being owed and you're bringing another 12,000, what are you planting? The man has a responsibility also, responsibility to take away these booby traps. But like we end with saying, look back, but look forward the more. Dance less and work more. Let's go for a break. When we come back, you'll make some more reports. Don't get away.
It's not bazaar.
12,000!